All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Welcome to our Wednesday evening Inner Circle Live session. I'm your host, Ryan Carthage. We'll be joined shortly by my awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen. Hope everybody has had an awesome day. Uh, the markets are full of excitement, tons of things happening, tons to get caught up on. So, we are going to dive in and get started. So, as always, let's turn off all distractions, grab a pen and paper for notes, and let's prepare to participate and engage. All right. Uh, Really quickly, just drop me one in the chat if you can hear me okay. I know yesterday I had some audio issues, so I just want to make sure that I'm coming through loud and clear. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. So we're gonna get to it, man. First thing first thing on the docket is I posted an article in the Discord channel discussing Credit Suisse. We're looking at things this morning, trying to figure out what was happening, what was causing the reaction that we were getting in the market, and Credit Suisse was it. So this article here, I'll drop it into New York Times. I'll drop this one into the chat. But this article talks about what occurred, and essentially what happened initially was the top investor, Saudi, uh, from the Saudi National Bank, largest shareholder, in an interview stated that they would not put any more money into Credit Suisse. Right. He later clarified his statement, saying that they would not go above the 9.9% that they already had, um, that they already owned, because of some regulatory issues. But the statement of we're not going to put any more money in the bank caused some red flags. Then, as the day went on, as the day went on, um, it later came out that the bank stated that they did have some issues in their accounting. Right, so there was some concerns regarding some of the investments that the bank had and how they were handling accounting, and there's some additional reporting that they have to do to the SEC because of said accounting issues. So this caused a major shakeup in the market, as this is the third bank this week that has, or in the last 2 weeks, that has had major issues and seen shares drop. And on the this one is on the verge of being taken over by the government, right? So this was a major deal in the market, and some are saying that this bank has been around for 166 years, and they're on the brink of failure. And there are a lot of investors that are looking at this and saying that this is only the tip of the iceberg of what is to come, as the economy continues to shift around the world, and as the central banks around the world continue to have to focus on the fight against inflation as opposed to trying to bail out the banks. Now, later on in the day, what occurred? Um, the Swiss National Bank, the central bank stated that they would uh, provide a backstop for Credit Suisse if necessary. So they would essentially bail them out of this situation, seeing as they have about $3.5 billion that still needs to be paid out that they currently do not have. So Swiss National Bank is backing the organization. So they do have some support, just as the other two banks got support from the United States. So this was a big deal in the market today, caused a lot of shakeups. We'll take a look and see what occurred and how things played out. Over to trading economics. Australian jobless rate falls to 3.5% in February. Australia's seasonal adjusted unemployment rate declined to 3.5% in February, from January's 8-month high of 3.7%. Those numbers just came out a short time ago. And then just going through some of the shakeup that occurred, U.S. stock futures rose on. No, this was just now, so Thursday. In other countries, after major averages ended mixed during Wednesday's regular session, as fresh turmoil at Credit Suisse exacerbated concerns about the financial sector, fueling speculation that the Federal Reserve could take a less aggressive approach next week. Now, this is speculation, right? They're saying that because of these issues and because of the major concerns around the world, that the Fed will start to back off because banks are starting to fail. Now, we'll continue to see back and forth narrative because essentially inflation is still high, right? We saw the numbers that came out yesterday. Yes, it started to decrease, but not decreasing as fast as the Fed would like. And Jay Powell stated that in his testimonies last week. So we'll see the back and forth throughout the rest of the week and into next week on what the speculation regarding what the Federal Reserve will do. But the assumption that they'll take a less aggressive approach because these banks are failing is causing investors to start putting money back into risk assets, at least temporarily, right, to push the market back up after these major drops, right? So the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500 futures rose 0.3% here recently and 0.01% respectively, while the Dow futures were flat. In regular trading on Wednesday, the Dow and S&P 500 fell 0.87% and 0.7% respectively, while the NASDAQ composite inclined 0.05%. Other major averages sold off sharply in the morning following the Credit Suisse largest investor, Saudi National Bank, rolled out increasing its stake a day after the bank revealed it had found material weaknesses, all right, in its financial reporting for 2022 and 2021, right? The indices paired those losses in the afternoon after regulators announced that the Swiss National Bank would provide additional liquidity to Credit Suisse if necessary, right? So there was a back and forth that happened. We'll look at the charts and see, but we know after major fundamental announcements and sharp moves happen, the market takes back a portion of that move. We'll watch to see if it takes back more than just 50 to 60%. Right? We'll see how things continue to play out throughout the week. As tomorrow, we got the rate statement for the ECB. Also for today, oil hits lowest since December 2021. WTI crude futures fell 7% to below $66 per barrel on Wednesday, level not seen since December 2021, as investors mulled over the risk buried in the bank system, right? Tons of risk happening in the market. When that happens, you'll see WTI crude push to the downside. Also understanding that, we haven't talked about this in a bit, but ultimately the government wants oil to be around $60 per barrel, right? President Biden stated that early last year. That was their goal, to get the price of crude down so that fuel could stay at a lower price. And ultimately, price is making its way to that level, right? So that's crude oil. Then we had retail sales, which didn't really necessarily wasn't the star of the show today, but retail sales in the United States were down 0.4% month over month in February, compared to market forecast of 0.3%. And following an upward revised 3.2% surge in January, which was the biggest gain since March 2021, right? So retail sales in January was still up and was above the forecast here in February. The biggest decreases were seen in sales of furniture stores, food services, and drinking places. Miscellaneous retailers, motor vehicles, and parts dealers declined 1.8%. Clothing stores, gasoline stations. In contrast, increases were seen in non-store retailers, health, food, beverage stores, and general merchandise. So, in electronics. So, people are still spending money. At the end of the day, things haven't, again, inflation and spending hasn't decreased as much as the Fed would like it to. So it'll be interesting to see what the Fed decides to do come next week. All right. So tons of things happening in the market. And we'll take a look at the charts here in a minute to see how things are shaking out. All right. So, are there any questions about any of that or anything that transpired today fundamentally? Nope. Benny, good evening, bro.
Ryan, what's going on, man? Sorry, I'm late. I've been working on that strategy. I was in the middle of a scout.
Ah,
So yeah, I
all
got
good, bro.
I got it too on the EJ and the UJ of
Ah,
the cloud
okay.
break on the 1 minute. So yeah, we'll check it out.
Ah,
But
yeah, we'll have
yeah,
to
so
check
I'm
that out.
jumped on. Yeah, I don't have the fast fingers yet, so a little bit of
That's a skill
a
in
little
itself, bro.
struggle. Yeah, yeah. I need something, but yeah, it was pretty good. But that's why I'm late. So my apologies, man.
No, man, it's all good. Um, your thoughts on today?
Oh man, good volatility for us as traders.
Facts.
I'll tell you that market's going crazy. Technically, we were in the right position for just about everything to play out. I mean, I guess it's good for the Swiss National Bank coming in and saying they back them and support, the bank if needed.
Yeah.
With Credit Suisse, right?
Yep.
So saying that they'll come in if needed. So I guess that's positive news in a sense, for them. But you got bond yields going crazy all over the place,
Yeah.
So I don't know. Paying for better than the market just sitting doing nothing. So
This is true. We
we'll
got the
see how it
volatility
is.
we've been looking for, right?
Yeah, you saw the Aussie just moved, positive numbers, employment data.
Yep.
And those yen, the yen just moved well, currencies against the yen just moved. Like I was in the EJ and the UJ, and just pop to the upside. So yeah, good stuff. I could dig it, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let's let's hop over to the charts. Take a look real quick. The dollar, interesting here, right? The DXY, it's on the 4 hour. Started to give us a pullback towards the end of the day, right? But overall, as of yesterday, had that nice bullish push here, right? Nice bullish push. Now we're getting a bit of a retracement, taking back some of that move to the upside. All right. So that's where we sit on the dollar. Found support here, right? Nice support level. Got a swing low there. Now we're looking to see if we get a retracement and see if price continues to rise, right? Understand that we got the ECB decision coming tomorrow, right? Which could definitely impact the dollar, right? But nice bullish push here. Here's our retracement. We had a previous resistance level here. So we'll see if we come back and see if these levels hold going into tomorrow. All right. So that's the DXY. Excuse me. And that's the move that we got today. Right. Strong push. Now we're taking back some of that action. All right. Um, let's take a look at the Aussies as we had some action off of the positive data. We'll see where things are with those. And then towards the end of the session, we'll take a look at the setups that we had in place. Actually, no, let's take a look at the setups that we had in place, get an update on those. And then we'll come into some of these Aussie pairs and we'll take a look at the Euros to close us out. So, one that we had running and we still have running is this CAD Swissy, right? And there's that push off that support level. Strong bullish move here pushed us right into this previous weekly support level. Right now, we'll see if this serves as resistance or if we're able to break above and continue pressing higher. Right out of this 80-20 on the daily time frame. Here on the 4, similar action. Right, 80-20 scenario on the 4. Those in alignment, trying to break above that weekly level, but we could see a retracement first before we get a continuation. All right. So we'll watch that to see how things transpire, and we'll see what we have on the lower time frames regarding these retracements as well. Coming here to the one, we see that move off that that COVID low. Zoom out, get our fibs to pop back in, maybe. Let's see. Get them mapped out there, and there, and there we go. That's our fib there on the 1 hour time frame, right? Longer move. That weekly resistance is sitting at that 382, right? So we got the nice push to the upside on the 1 hour, got to the 382. Now we'll see if we get a bit of a retracement. All right, I'm going to pull these fibs out. We know we're pushing to the upside. I want to map these fibs here, smaller waves. Here, now we can watch this here on the 1 hour time frame, just shy of the D extension after a 50% retracement. So let's see if we get another push to the upside and give us a new AB boundary. And then we'll see if we get a retracement coming into tomorrow. And then see if we get price to push the other way. All right. So beautiful move to the upside nonetheless, right? Off of our entry here. We're sitting up 137 pips, right? And this thick red line here is our daily 382. So we got a little bit of ways to go. A little less than halfway there, right? So we'll continue to monitor that as it goes. But beautiful swing trade. Now we're just going to play those waves to the upside there. All right. So that is the CAD Swiss on the go. The Euro Swiss is another one that I was long on. We had B boundaries all the way throughout on top of being at key support level, right? Here was the 80-20 move to the upside, got to that 382, but we're stuck in this range here, right? We came to the bottom of the range. We said we'll see if we get a push and ultimately make our way back to the top of the range. And here's that strong push to the upside here that we were looking for. All right. Coming down to the 4. We got double bottom action here, right, at that B boundary. And then price took off to the upside. Okay. Price took off to the upside. Beautiful play coming down to the 1. Run the fibs off of this last high. And this was our move, right? Came back down to that support level and then price took off, right? Tons of back and forth happening here throughout the day, right? As the Swiss National Bank came in and said they'll provide support, and then price rolled back to the upside out of that double bottom, right? So off that support level, currently price is up 158 pips, right? Could see more to go as we're looking for price to get back to the top, to the top of that range, that full move. We're looking at 322 pips to the upside. All right. So beautiful move there. So just off of those two pairs, you're looking at 145 and we'll say 132. So 270-ish, 280 pips. Finishing out Wednesday just off of two plays. All right. So those are the two Euro Swiss and the CAD Swiss. Anybody able to take advantage of those two plays? I know Joy, I believe, was in that CAD Swiss.
I closed out my CAD Swiss. Good setup. 100 pips.
Yeah, man. I took profit on the CAD Swiss and the Euro Swiss. Beautiful. Right. And so what we'll do is, because we talk about adding to those trades, right? So on both of these, what we'll do, like Benny said, he took profit on his. I closed mine out as well. So what we'll do is we'll look for pullbacks, right, and look for the opportunities. See if we get able to take another entry on the next move to the upside off these smaller waves, right? So looking at this this move to the upside here, off that low, got an AB boundary there, right? So we'll see if we get a retracement, potentially an 80-20, right? If we get another push up and a pullback, but ultimately we want to see price come back down to the 618 retracement level, retest the cloud, right? 618 zone right in line with the cloud. So that'd be a beautiful scenario for us to grab another position on the zero Swiss to the upside, right? So we'll monitor this to see what happens, to see if we get that setup opportunity for an add to the position there. All right, I'll drop back to the CAD Swiss and we'll look at that as well, right? We ran that sub fib to the upside. If we get that D extension hit and then a retracement, right? Fib would be something in this zone, right? Push higher even, that'd be fine. But pull back to retest the previous resistance level here at this B boundary, right? Which is in line with the 618 retracement level, right? So that'd be an opportunity if you're swinging this like we are here. This is one of my smaller accounts that I have, one of my U.S. brokers. This one I'm letting swing and letting ride to the upside, right? So we'll look for an opportunity to add to the trade on a retracement if we get it. And we'll be able to demonstrate live, right, how we compound these trades on these moves to the upside. All right. So we'll watch this as things continue to develop here. All right. So that's what I'm looking for on both of those Swiss crosses there. Okay. Any questions on either of those? Great work on those that are able to take advantage of it, by the way.
No.
Sweet. Great work, George. 240 pips on the CAD Swiss. I love it. I love it. All right, cool deal. Let's take a look at the dollar Swiss. Another one that we talked about. Benny broke down beautifully. Here on the daily time frame, another daily 80-20 scenario, right? Double bottom at the weekly support level. Found that support and took off, right? And here on the daily, we also got a break of the cloud. Right? Now we're getting some indecision. We'll see if we get a bit of a retracement, right? And then get an opportunity to get long again, right? But price is trying to move to the upside. We'll watch this also. We had a level of support here, right, that we're retesting, but we'll see if we get price to continue moving to the upside ultimately with the dollar strength moving into next week, okay? So this was the move here on the 4. Run the fibs off the top of the range that we had here. All right. AB boundary, and there was our push. Right. Beautiful move to the upside off of that support level. Right. At its high price move, 254 pips to the upside. Right. 254 pips to the upside. We'll look at it on the 1 hour to look at the cloud break on the 1 hour and the 15. But beautiful move there, 251. Now we're getting that retracement. Okay. Coming down to the 1. And this was the move, right? Had a double bottom scenario here, right? On this one, 91109. Right there, that was the entry that I had on this one to the upside. 91109 off of this pullback here. And then we saw price rise at its highest point from that level, 220 pips. Right. So what we'll do, we see, right, we talked about this last night, and those A's get taken out. We see price ran to the upside, took out our A. So these are the scenarios where we flip our fib and run the fib from the low to the high. Bang. Right. Just shy of the D extension here. Got a 382. So similar to that CAD Swiss, look for another push to the upside to get to that D extension. Right. Once we get a fresh AB boundary, then we'll look for a retracement. Right. Come back, retest the cloud, potentially lower, and then we'll look for an opportunity to get back long in favor of the dollar, which still has the strength. Right. So that's what we're looking for here on this dollar Swiss. Okay. That was a beautiful move to the upside, 200 pips. All right. So what was that, 270 plus another 230? 220, right? So that's 70, 20, that's 90, 490 pips, right? To close out Wednesday. That's a beautiful week. Okay. That's a beautiful week off 3 pairs. Okay. So like Benny said, we were in proper position for all of these scenarios, right? And if we go back to the daily on this and we look at this from a larger perspective, we zoom out and look at this fib running off the low, we had some confluence here, right, with an 8.6 retracement level, right? So 8.6 retracement level on the sub fibs to the downside. We had an 80-20 scenario, right, along with the weekly support level, right? So things came into alignment here for that move to the upside. Now we'll continue to track it as price pushes to the upside. All right, so tons of alignment there on the daily time frame. We'll continue to monitor it and look for those buying opportunities on the low price. And we may even have some 80-20 scenarios that we can play the counter trend move back to the 382 to catch some additional pips there. All right. Any questions on this dollar Swiss? No? All right. Sweet.
No.
All right. So beautiful opportunities, man. Beautiful opportunities. The other one that we had was this pound CAD. Pound CAD here on the 1 hour time frame, right? Again, we talked about it last night and this morning. It's making its way to the downside. Still haven't got to that 382 yet in the TP1, but we did break back below this daily support level, right? And now we're making our way to the downside, right? So off of the break of that daily level, it's another 95 pips, right? So that puts us over 500 pips for the week so far, right? So that was another 100 pip move. My entry was around here, right? I took profit at that level as well. All right. So that was another scenario. Still playing out, still got some room to go, right? Make it back to that daily support level. Just from zone to zone, you're looking at 175 pips. Again, another beautiful opportunity, right? So that one's still on the move, just like the rest of them. It's been taking its time, though, right? So we'll see what continues to happen with crude, and we'll see what happens coming out of the UK as well. Okay, so that's another beautiful scenario on its way. Anybody still holding this one? Joy still in it. Great work. Great work. Joy been putting in some major work, man. Putting in some major work. All right. Good deal. Good deal. I love it. 67394. Let's see. All the way at the top. Dang, Joy. That's a beautiful entry there. Off that push up. Whew. That's beautiful. That puts you well over 100 pips there. Great work staying in the game. 138 pips so far. I love it. I love it, man. Right? It's a days like today, or even events like this, right? Scenarios like this. It's extremely important to ensure that you are. Benny's been talking about this for weeks now. Staying focused on the process and staying focused on the technical levels. With everything else being all over the place, these technical levels have held, right? These daily, weekly, monthly support levels, these 80-20 scenarios. It's quite surprising, right, that even in chaotic times, this 118, 127 zone still holds. It still holds. And we're seeing reversals at key moments, right? At key moments. So it's important to ensure that you're working on your discipline and sticking to your rules and watching these key technical levels and looking at the alignment of the key fundamental announcements that come and some of the unknown things that happen as well that coincidentally happen as price pushes into these zones. All right. This 80-20 is a real thing. It's a real thing, right? So that's why we focus on it. But great work on that pound CAD. Those are the ones that I'm in. That pound Aussie hasn't really moved much. It's starting to try to get some traction now with that Aussie news. We'll take a look at it real quick. Here we go. This pound Aussie, right? We're still hovering in this 118 to 127 zone on the daily time frame. We were not able to break above this weekly level at 182,770. And we also got a swing high that formed here, right? We'll see if we're able to continue to stay below. But right now we have, right? Strong bullish move, stopped in its tracks and turned around. All right. So this level is holding really, really strong. We'll see if we get some follow through to the downside there. On the 4, right? This was a fresh AB boundary, double top scenario, and we got the push down. So we'll see if we get price to continue down at least to this daily support level, give us a 50% retracement on the on this 4-hour time frame, right? From where price is another 232 pips to the downside. Okay. So that's what we're looking at there. See if we get that 80-20 on the daily time frame to play out at some point. But we got levels to break through and tons of fundamental things to sift through as well. We'll see if that occurs, right? On the 1 hour, it's super choppy, so not much to look at there. Okay. So that's another one that we'll continue to monitor. Nice bearish action, retest. We'll see if we get that follow through. Okay, so this is another one that in one of my accounts I am swinging with my stop above the high, and we'll see if we get that continuation there. Okay. Questions on the pound Aussie? Oh, right. So you can see, right, for folks that haven't been with us long, the pips add up if you stay consistent in the process, man. Right, we're well over 600 pips now on the positions that we had. Okay. Benny, did you have any others that you were in throughout the day today outside of your scalps that you took this evening?
Nope, you covered them all. Those are the last few that I was playing around with the scalps, but that was it.
All right. So let's hop over to these Aussies and take a look to see how they responded to the news. So here, the Aussie Swiss, this is another one that we did post. We got a cloud break on the 1, right? But you did see also with that news, price push to the upside. We broke back above this weekly support level, right? Didn't hold as resistance, broke back above, okay? And here we created a new swing low. So we'll drop that level in there, right? So we got a new low that formed. We'll take this down to the lower time frame, like so. All right. Broke back above that level. So now we'll see what happens, right, as we retest some of these other key support levels that we had. Okay. We go down to the 4. Here on the 4, right, that previous 80-20 scenario didn't play out. Pushed down to that daily and created that daily support. And that's when we got the push yesterday, Monday, Tuesday. Strong move to the upside today, right? Strong move to the upside today. So clean break of that previous weekly support. We'll see if it holds as support again as we've just broke above it. So coming down to the 1, right? This was the look that we had that we posted in the Discord. Shallow retracement, 118 to 127 zone. Price started making its way to the upside, right? We got the cloud break. Benny reposted it this morning on the cloud break, and we got the move, right? 79 pips off of the cloud break to the upside, right? So this is another piece that's extremely key, right? Benny's broken down the cloud and the strategy on the entry, right? These cloud breaks are powerful. Cloud breaks are powerful, right? And as we get them, we get pullbacks and then we get price to really move, right? In the training, Benny talks about the cloud not giving you an early entry, but giving you the bulk of the move. And that's what you're seeing, right? These longer moves after the cloud breaks on these different time frames are extremely key. So regardless of what time you trade on, right, looking at these cloud breaks as an opportunity to give you a nice entry and and it'll give you a decent amount of pips to the upside. And as long as price stays above the cloud, right, there's an opportunity for you to continue to ride that move to the upside or to the downside, depending on what the position is. All right. So beautiful play there. Great work, bro, on catching that cloud break to the upside. Okay. So we'll continue to monitor. If that level holds, we'll continue to see price ride to the upside there. Okay. So that's the Aussie Swiss. Getting a little bit of a pullback. We'll see if we get some more bullish action on the Aussie. All right. Let's take a look at the Aussie CAD. Trying to break the cloud on the daily. All right, this one's bouncing a little bit. Got a nice, just tapped that 786 retracement zone. Right, push down, was not able to break below that daily support level, previous daily support level. I'm on the 15, my bad. Whew. These changes are getting to me. Let's see.
Yeah, it's a little bit annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, getting a routine. Here we go. Right. So here on the daily, we got a 382 push. The price wasn't able to break below this this weekly support level. Right. This was a previous daily support. Broke back above, came back and held. We'll see if price starts to rise here, right? Or if we get price to turn over and continue pressing to the downside to get to the D extension. We'll have to watch that and monitor to see how things go there. All right. We'll come down to the 4. And we see the push off that support. We've got that 382. We'll see if we get a deeper push on this one, right? And give us another opportunity to get short in favor of that CAD, right? We'll watch to see. But that daily level is still holding here in the future. Okay. So we'll watch that closely and see what transpires. Okay. But a nice push off of it so far as we move through the evening time here. Coming down to the 1. We have the fresh AB boundary again there. Okay. So we'll see what happens here. We could see this one turn over. We got to the 382 on the 4 and on the 1. I'll check that out, Jeremy. And we'll see what happens. See if we get that to turn over and push back down to the downside. Now let's go back. Head and shoulders on the daily. Are you looking if we get a push to the upside here, Jeremy? Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah.
Could be. Definitely could be. Get to continue to ride back up to that daily level. All right. I thought I put an order in for GA, and since I didn't, oh, you put it on GU? Ooh. Did it move in your favor, Joy? I made mistakes, but you probably saw some price action that looked the same. So good work, even on the mistake. All right. Even on the mistake. Great work. Joy been on fire, man. Been on fire. Something like that. We'll see. It's not pulling it in there. I have to move this up. But yeah. If we get that push to the upside, there we go. All right. If we get that push to the upside, heck yeah. We'll watch and see how it goes. I love it, Joy. You got our support, man. So we'll watch this. We'll watch this and see if we get that push to the upside, back to that daily level. All right. And then break back down. That'd be a beautiful opportunity. Get out of there, Jeremy. We'll watch it close. We'll watch it close. All right. So that will mean here on the 1, price push to the upside and give us that 786 retracement. All right. That's what that would mean on the 1 for that head and shoulders pattern. Okay. So we'll watch that. We'll watch to see if we get that continued follow through there. Okay. Questions on the Aussie CAD? No. All right. Cool deal. Aussie Swiss, Aussie CAD, Aussie yen. As these yens picked up some strength today. So look, let's go back to the weekly real quick here. So on the weekly, didn't quite get into that 118, 127 zone, but price has been coming down, right? Lower highs and lower lows. Not able to break through this weekly support level yet to get to that 382, but it's trying. It's trying. So we'll see if we get some follow through, or we're getting a reaction, potentially getting a pullback to the upside here. We'll see if at some point we're able to break through that level. Down to the daily. Excuse me. You see, right? That double bottom here, trying to give us a reaction. So we'll watch this closer to see if we get a pushback to the upside, right? Not a ton has necessarily changed with the yen. There are some things that are in conversation with South Korea and some other deals when it comes to employment rates, but or wage rates. So some things potentially could change in the future for the yen, but right now things are still the same. So we'll watch closely to see if the yen can continue picking up its steam as the safe haven currency, and kind of take over the Swiss a little bit from that safe haven perspective. So we'll watch how things develop there. We come down to the 4, and this was that crazy bearish move that brought us right into that weekly support level that we saw this morning, right? And this is that retracement as we're reading those articles talking about the market taking back some of the bearish action early, right? This is what it was talking about. So we'll see how deep this retracement goes, and see if we ultimately get back long or if things turn around and continue pushing to the downside. All right. So this is one that's just bouncing back and forth a bit, double bottom scenario, and we'll see how high that retracement goes. Coming down to our 1, it played out beautifully, right? 618 retracement. Take this out. Take the cloud out as well, just so we can see it cleanly. 618 retracement, which we were looking for, right? We drew this up over the weekend, right? Looking for a nice deep retracement, and we got it. And coincidentally, that bearish move pushed us right into the D extension, right? So those C to D moves are also beautiful scenarios, right? Beautiful scenarios. So now we got a fresh AB boundary and we're getting the retracement. All right. So we'll watch this as it pushes back up into the zone and see if we get opportunity to get short again in favor of the yen. Okay. So that played out there. Pull that out. So we'll watch this as it pushes up deeper in the zone here. Okay. So great opportunities there. And we'll see what happens when we get a high price. All right. Questions on the Aussie yen?
No.
Nope. Cool deal. Aussie New Zealand. Didn't actually look at this one today. Let's see. That's the monthly. Here's our daily. Here's our daily. So, been some long moves, right? Another long move to the downside, but coming into that last impulsive move down, shallow retracement, price pushing to the 118, 127 zone. This is a previous level of daily support. We're getting price to turn over, potentially start pressing back to the upside. All right, breaking back above this previous support level. So we'll see if we're able to hold that and get some follow through back here, right? If we do, we could be in for a crown pattern here. Okay. Took out that previous low. See if we get price to push back up to these levels. Right? So we'll watch this and see if we get some follow through to the upside. But this is an 80-20 on the daily time frame as well on this Aussie New Zealand. Okay. So pushing to the upside right now. It's coming down to the 4. That's not it. Here we go. All right. On the 4, we didn't get down into that 118, 127 zone before we broke back above the B boundary, right? So we're looking for that follow through there. Nice bullish candle break back above that daily level. Retesting it now. And we'll see if we get that follow through there. Okay. So we'll watch for the high prices here, right? Might even take out the A here on the 4. So we'll see what happens when we get back to this daily level at 108,910. Okay. What's up, everybody that just joined us on YouTube? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right. So come down to the 1. And again, fresh AB boundary. Didn't push into the 118 and 127 zone, right? But we're trying to get bullish here. All right. So we'll see what happens, see if we're able to stay above and get back to these higher levels here. All right. So in this one, I'm waiting, see what happens at 78686, even that A boundary, and then see if we get an opportunity to get short and play that crown pattern back to the downside. All right. Questions on this Aussie New Zealand? A little choppy after that news.
No.
No? All right, all right. And then the Aussie dollar. Had dollar strength. Here we go. That's the daily. All right. D extension achieved on that push down consolidation. Now we're trying to get, all right, push back to the upside potentially. We'll see. All right. This is our new AB boundary here on that move. Right there. Okay. So we'll see if we get a retracement here, back up to this 50% retracement in this daily level, right? If the dollar continues to either consolidate or pull back, right? We'll see if we get a retracement there. It'll be interesting to see what transpires throughout the week. Okay. So we'll see what happens there. Okay. Down on the 4, we're hovering in this 118, 127 zone. All right, just ranging. That bearish action today pushes us right back to that support level. We'll see if we're able to get some traction back to the upside. All right, we'll have to watch it closely and see what happens with the dollar. We know we got a rate statement coming next week for the United States, right? So we could potentially see a retracement until then. We'll watch to see, right? The ECB conversation tomorrow could impact the DXY, right? Which could then give us a retracement on some of these dollar crosses. So we'll watch and see. We'll watch and see. But 80-20 scenario here trying to play out. We'll continue to monitor it. Okay. And then there's just that range on the 1. All right. So the 80-20 is on the 4-hour time frame that we can monitor on. Okay. We can look for a cloud break on the lower time frames. All right. We got the cloud break there on the 1, but we broke back below. Right. So that's a signal that we could be in a range for a minute. Okay. So we'll watch that there. Okay. So again, here, looking for a high price opportunity to get short. All right. That's what we're looking for here. Questions on the Aussie dollar?
No.
Nope.
No,
All right. Cool deal. So those are the Aussie pairs. Let's take a look at these euros as we have this rate statement coming tomorrow. Then we'll wrap it up with with some crypto talk. So here on the daily time frame, right, that bearish action just pushed us right down to that daily support level. Right, 618 retracement, right down into it. Now we're trying to get a pullback. Okay, so again, these levels are holding strong. Right, even as strong as that move was to the downside, still weren't able to break through it. Okay, so we'll watch to see. How deep the retracement goes on this. If we just come back, take back that candle and retest the zone here, and see if we get back short. Okay, so come down to the 4. I'm gonna pull these out. Right. And this is what we have, right? Kind of stuck in this range here, right? weekly resistance and daily support. Crazy move, but not able to break out. All right, so we're pulling back now. All right, so we're pulling back now. We'll see how much of this candle we take back, right? We'll see how much we take back. But still within this AB boundary, okay? Matching the extension. This is 127 zone. So we got to turn back over and break below. Okay, come down to the 1. That's what we talked about the other day, right? Fibs running to the upside. I think it was it Ella talking about the divergence, right? And if you get that trend line break, right, you got the trend line break and it went, right? So that was a good call. That was a good call on the divergence, right? On the other time frames and get that alignment with that trend line break and price went, right? Great work. Great work. Okay, so we run those fibs to the upside here. Okay, A was taken out, so we flipped the fib. Bang. So again, waiting on a high price to get short. Take these trend lines out now. They're broken. And there's our retracement. So we'll see how deep that runs. Okay. And that's the euro dollar. Questions on that?
No.
All right. Euro CAD. Let's see. Daily time frame. Push just shy of that 118 level. Turn right back over. Broke back below that weekly resistance level. Man, oh man, right? So we got some back and forth happening. We'll see what the ECB has to say and see how this responds. Here on the 4, right? They gave us a fresh AB boundary. That 80-20 scenario here didn't play out. Pushed up, came back down. So let's watch to see if we're able to stay below this weekly level, get a retest here, and then a continuation short if the ECB comes in somewhat dovish or takes more of a dovish tone in their statement. If that occurs, we could see something like that happen, right? If they're straight hawkish, like we kind of expect them to be, right? We could see price continue to rise, break back above, and continue making its way to the D extension there. Okay? So we'll watch this one tomorrow and see what transpires. All right, but no play right now on this one. Coming down to our 1. A got taken out again. Run them to the downside. That's your AB boundary on the 1 hour time frame. Just hovering right now. Okay. So we'll watch that one as well tomorrow. See what happens. See what the reaction is after the emotional response to whatever the ECB has to say.
Hey, Benny, can you put the cloud on the 1 hour?
Ryan, yep. There you go.
I'm sorry, Ryan.
Yeah,
I'm used to Benny doing the night. I got
Yeah.
you used to everybody and changed up. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. All right, there's your cloud there. Still got a nice separation there. Still got a nice separation there. Okay. So trying to make its way back, right? Comes back to that level and stays below. It'll be a retest of that cloud. Okay. But if you zoom out, that's what that looks like. Still bearish also. So we'll see if we get a twist. Any other questions here on the EuroCAD? Nope. Okay, cool deal. Joy's favorite, the Euro GBP. All right, daily we're just ranging. All right, just ranging. We take these out. Those are irrelevant. We got a weekly support, daily resistance. Okay, so we're ranging right now. So we'll see if we bounce off that and push back to the upside. down to
Hey,
the
Ryan.
see that? Yes, sir.
Can you pull up a 1 minute chart to put the cloud on for me on this?
On this one, yes, sir.
Yep.
Let's lower time frame. 1 minute.
See that? It's amazing, isn't it?
Break, retest, continuation.
Yeah, that was one of the ones that I was trading
Oh, really?
off the break, that and the EJ
Oh, man, that's
off the
beautiful.
1 minute.
That's beautiful. The cloud is powerful, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It is powerful. Man, that's great work, dude.
Appreciate it. Those move so fast, man. I don't know if we in the future put together a some type of session for that. Those are hard to communicate through
Yeah,
Discord. They move too fast almost.
But it was also
So I'm trying.
80-20 scenario too.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm trying to. I'm trying to figure out like maybe in advance, because I know we have people that like trade on a lower time frames, but maybe I don't know. I'll figure something out. But that EJ went. The Aussies went too, but I didn't play those because of the news. I didn't want to play the news on that. But
for sure.
Yeah.
So good people, let us know what you think. Right, drop us a comment in the Discord if you'd be interested in advanced training. Right, we'd be specific about who we do this training for, just because it's something that would be more of a higher level. And you really got to be sound in your trading rules. Right, really got to be sound in your trading rules in order to take advantage of some of the things like this, just because it's easy to get caught in wanting to over leverage and getting blown up in some of these scenarios. So it'd be a higher level training for these, right? It'd be a higher level. So, but let us know in the Discord if you'd be interested in a training on trading some of these cloud breaks on the 1 minute and 5 minute time frame. All right. Folks on YouTube, let us know too, right? Might be something that we put together and put something out to the public in one way, shape, or form. We'll see. But we'd be interested in your thoughts as well. All right. That'll be interesting, bro.
It's fractals, man. It moves in waves, So it's like no matter what the time frame, if you can click right into that same chart, the EJ, right? You just pull an EJ up right in that that is the EJ in that same chart. You'll see what that looked like. Right.
Right. It all falls within the sequence.
Yeah.
It all falls within the sequence. Right. You saw that Euro GBP was an 80-20 scenario. There's Euro Yen. 80-20 scenario. Cloud break, push. Right. So at the end of the day, it's all the same.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The fib sequence is the fib sequence. And the 80-20 will be the 80-20 regardless of the time frame. Right. And then adding this additional confirmation of the cloud break gives you that opportunity to catch some of these moves. It's a beautiful thing, bro. Great work, man. And there you are again.
Appreciate it. And the last one was and that's why it was not a match, the UJ. So they all went bananas. It's almost identical.
Oh man,
price action.
Yeah. Boom. And now we're getting a retracement on it. Beautiful move there.
Yeah. It's pattern driven market.
Man, pattern driven market. It's all the same. See? All the same. On this UJ, off the cloud break and the pullback, we'll take it from there. That's 57 pips right there. Off the cloud break and the pullback. If you took it off the top of that candle, looking at 43. Right? If you took it off just shy of that 118 level, you got about 100. Great work, my guy. Great work. Right.
Appreciate it.
And again, right? Look, boom. B boundary. We're retracing. Sequence is beautiful. Sequence is beautiful. You guys can see what we're teaching you, and if you really dig in and take the time to go through the training, right, and really start to solidify an understanding of the concept, it's extremely powerful, regardless of the type of trader that you decide to become, right, and regardless of what you decide to trade. We had a former student of ours pop in. She's trading stocks and stock options, utilizing the methodology, right? So it doesn't matter what you trade, doesn't matter the time frame in which you trade. It's about understanding the process and solidifying the discipline that'll get you to follow your rules within this process. I'll say all the time, the majority of the time, right? Because you won't be right all the time. But if you follow your rules all the time, you win more times than not. Yeah, man.
Yep. The strategy is the same no matter what the time frame, right? No matter what the asset class, like you said. But the 90% of it is trade psychology and risk management. Period.
That's it.
There's a lot of strategies that work, right? But it's the psychology and the risk management, right? And sometimes people, they get to the lower time frames. Oh, I'm gonna put the house on it. No, it's the same rules. It's the same rules. You're still gonna divide your risk by your stop. It's the same. It's the same exact thing.
Same thing. Same thing. Over and over and over and over and over again.
Hi, Ryan. Just a quick question.
Yes, sir.
You were making reference to EJ, UJ, and GJ in the 1 minute time frame. And I just wanted to know, do they move in the same direction?
They don't all necessarily move exactly the same, but what you'll notice about the baskets, right? Benny talked about this morning. Those yen crosses, right? You'll see similar movement, right? Like this morning, we saw all of the yen crosses, strong retracements, right? That safe haven popped in, right? And now you're seeing retracements on all of those as well. And as we went through them a couple of weeks ago, we saw similar consolidation action before they pushed to a 618 retracement on their respective currency crosses, right? So you'll see similar action. They won't move exactly the same, but especially your yens. There's some others that move really closely as far as retracements and such. With those yens, you'll see them move similarly because a lot of times you'll have the difference from a fundamental perspective, right? With the yen being a safe haven, but also them not changing their monetary policy, right? So you have that monetary divergence that happens really across the board. It has been happening across the board because everybody's increasing interest rates except for the yen. So when you have currencies running against the yen, they're all going to be, for the most part, doing the same thing. Everybody running against the yen. But then when the yen picks up some strength, you'll see it also pick up some strength against all of the currencies. So then you'll know this is more yen strength than anything else, or it's yen weakness more than anything else, right? So the yens do move similarly. They don't move exactly the same, but they move similarly.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? No? All right. Euro NZD. Daily. Had the 80-20 play out. We came back up, retested that daily level, then broke down. Right? Now we're trying to get a bit of a retracement here, and we'll see what happens coming into tomorrow. But a nice 618 retracement off of that, and we're trying to get long. Got to break above this level first, right, to get to that D extension. We'll see if that occurs tomorrow. Come down to the 4 hour, and that last push down is here. Beautiful retracement, taking back some of that bearish move that happened this morning, right? And we'll see if we're able to get back long here in favor of the euro. We'll see what happens with the ECB. Appreciate it, Brandy. You have a good one. All right, we'll see what happens with the ECB. Okay, come down to the 1. There we go. There's your move there. So this will be interesting to see tomorrow how the ECB comes out. We'll see if we get a push to the upside to get to this monthly resistance level in the D extension on the other higher time frames, or if price turns over and presses down due to more of a dovish narrative, right? But we expect them to be hawkish. That's the expectation. We'll see if they change that tomorrow. Right? Some of the investors and some of the big banks are talking about the central banks having to change their narrative and change their plan because of in light of what's happening with the banks. But at the end of the day, you still have inflation as an issue, right? So if they change their narrative, we could ultimately see it as kicking the can down the street as far as the inflation issue goes. Right, and it could lead to more issues down the line, as opposed to continuing to bite the bullet, see the pain in the economy in order to get the inflation issue under control, which would then lead to an opportunity to somewhat rebuild as we move through the situation. So it'll be interesting to see how the banks take how the central banks take the banking situations into account with their monetary decisions. All right. So we'll see there. Right. Nothing doing right now. Retesting some levels. See if we're able to get back long. Okay. So Euro NZD. Looked at the Euro JPY on the 1 minute. Right. But this is from a higher time frame, daily time frame. This was that bearish push right back down to that weekly support level. And we're getting a reaction. Right. So we'll see again. See if we get a retracement here. Where's my 4? On the 4, that was the move there. We didn't get the push into the 118, 127 zone like we wanted, but turned over at that B boundary, broke down to the downside, took out the A, right? Now we look at it from this perspective. Boom. Okay. That's only 4. See how much of that candle we take back. If we don't take back all of it and push back to the weekly resistance level. Okay. So we'll watch that closely and see. Come down to your 1. Took out our A. Now our fibs running to the downside. Boom. Boom. Like so. Okay. So monitor to see. Monitor to see. All right. So that's the Euro Yen in preparation for tomorrow. We'll see that consolidation potentially throughout the night and then see what happens early in the morning tomorrow. Okay. So those are all of our Euros. Any questions on the Euros? And that decision, I believe, is was it 8:30 tomorrow? 9:15.
Oh, 9:15.
9:15.
Okay.
All right. Press conference at 9:45. So we'll watch that. We'll watch that there.
That's gonna be the key is that conference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting
Well,
to see what she has to say about the bank.
Yeah, well, I guess the decision is going to be interesting too. Now, do they hold the 50 basis points?
Yeah, very true.
You know?
Very true.
Market's already priced it in.
Yep.
Long time ago. So
Yep.
it's about what's, but so I would typically say it's about what's going forward, but now I guess that's up in the air. This is coin flip maybe.
If they decide to go less than in light of what's happening, that'll send some shocks.
Yeah, I think so.
That'll send some shocks. So be interesting to see. I'll be sitting by the screen watching to see what the reaction is. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin. I haven't looked at these in a while. I was peeking at them earlier today, right? And just zooming back. I haven't updated this markup purposely because we've been watching this, right? Crown pattern played out or is playing out, right? This move here. Right? Spotted this quite some time ago, right? And now we're looking to see if price pushes down into this $10,000, $9,000 range. All right. Pull a cloud off for a second so we can see that there. We run this fib here on the harmonic pattern, right? And that D extension comes in around 10,874, right? Right in this green zone here. Okay. We've been hovering in this range. We've been stuck. Pull these out for a second. Oops. Been stuck in this range. Okay. So it'll be interesting to see as things continue to progress with the banking situations and risk off environment. We've talked about these cryptos a lot, and the cryptos move similarly to your stock market, right? To your S&P 500 in your tech sector. So it's going to be interesting to see if that tech sector falls. See if we get this pushed back down. All right. If we get down to this $10,000 level, I got some money sent to the side.
Absolutely. It was weird today though, because Bitcoin actually got some support.
It did.
So it was a little weird. So maybe it's a store of value. I don't know. That I don't know with the cryptos. I know earlier in the game people were thinking about it. It's usually kind of similar to gold, right? We know gold is getting pumped to the upside.
Mm-hmm.
But it got some Bitcoin found some support today, right? Some people piled some capital into Bitcoin. Looks like, so I don't know. It's weird. I'd like to see that target hit though to the downside.
Heck yeah. I'm sitting patiently. All right. I'm sitting patiently. But if you look at it, right, we've been trapped in this range. Right? Been trapped in this range. Okay, so we broke this level here, previous support level, broke to the downside. We had two levels here. Right? Resistance. Came back, retested that resistance, but then we came back and retested that support level also. And strong reaction there. Came back below the other daily resistance level. So if we're not able to break back above this 26,000, we could either be stuck in this range or at some point break below. So I'm intrigued by it, to say the least. If we run a fib off this low here, right, that's what we're looking at here. Right, the D extension is just above at 27,735. Right, got a 50% retracement, so could potentially get a spike up there. Right, but are we able to stay above, close above those daily levels? That's going to be key for me, because if we get a break above and we close above on the daily and then get a retest and a hold, that'll be a signal that we could be pushing to the upside. Right, but if we spike up and then come back down, I'm looking at these lows. All right. I'm looking at the lows. And then once we get here, we'll see what happens after that. All right. So come down, lower time frames. Look at those fibs off the low. And we're taking out 2. There we go. All right. You see here on the 4, all these fibs got taken out. So then we come to this low. Now this is our fib here on the 4. That D extension is just above that daily D extension level. That was at 27 and some change, 28 and some change, right? So that 4-hour D extension is there if we're able to get to it and get to that daily D extension as well. We'll see, right? But these daily levels have served pretty strong so far, right? Even with the push above to get back here, we still close back below 25,196. So if we continue to stay below that, I'm looking short. Okay. Come down to the 1. Similar story. We're almost taking out the 8 here on the 1 hour. Right. So we broke below, came back and retested here, and then pushed down. So we'll see. We'll see what the rest of the week and into next week holds as the Fed discusses the rate statement next week. Right. I just ran that sub fib to the downside. We got a 50% retracement here, matching the extension is lower. Right. So if the sub fib plays out to the downside, we're looking, right, price to move down. So we'll watch this one. I'll keep my eyes on it. You guys know I don't trade. I don't trade these cryptos like this a lot, but that $10,000 level is one that I'm looking for. It's definitely one that I'm looking for. So we'll see.
That's all I'm gonna do is watch it.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
I keep my faith in the good old fiat. And I don't know, man. Price was diving off a cliff. People were still talking about to the moon.
Man,
I'm like, I'm good.
But some of these bank failures too, they had large investments in crypto, and they've had to realize those losses, right, on the money that they loaned they loaned out.
Need more regulation, man. My man going to jail. They're gonna put him under the jail.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. They need, I guess the shakeup is good because I think it is the future, but you need more. It needs more regulation.
Yeah, for sure. And one of the things too that I learned, I didn't realize this, is that up until 2020, there was a cap on how much banks could loan out of their overall deposits. There was a cap at 80%, so they had to have 20% in reserve. But after COVID, that law was changed, so they could loan out up to 100% of their total deposits.
Man, that was all politics, man. You had Sarbanes-Oxley first, then you had Dodd-Frank, and then then you got the policy shift with administrations.
Yeah,
certain things got eliminated. So
yeah,
we had a pandemic team too before the administrations then got eliminated. Then got smacked with a pandemic, lost our mind. So it is what it is. We learn our lessons.
Definitely learn the lessons. I didn't realize that until earlier this week, and I was like, some of this stuff makes a little bit more sense now, and some of the stuff that we're seeing. So, but it'll make the future also interesting in how things play out too. So cool deal. Cool deal. Does anybody have any questions on anything that we covered this evening? No. Benny, final thoughts, bro, before we wrap it up?
No, man. Great session. To the moon, everybody.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, bro. All right, good people. We'll be back at it tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the pre-New York session. Until then, have a good evening, good morning for those that are joining us early in the morning. Have an awesome day. We'll catch you later. Peace.
Ryan.
You're welcome.